And you fucking stopped again, motherfucker. This thing keeps stopping on me, and you just now finally went while I'm cussing. All right, what I think of your talents? They're awesome, and I need your help. I got the political plan to insulate the United States residents from globalization. We pay property tax. Property tax services all the first responders' salaries, and that services mainly the tourists that come through our town. And only thing that the property tax does is allow radical groups of government employees to vote themselves more and more personal liberties with the citizens' property. They use eminent domain to bulldoze all the farmland, so there's no self-sufficient communities hardly left in most regions of the country like there was. They keep voting themselves liberties through compulsory attendance laws, access to our children, to manipulate our children, to force our children out of our homes with false petitions from rehabilitated narc social workers, which the judiciary have farmed for generations to be informant narc dope dealing to the college kids and the high school kid snitches, that the judiciary, the school system, and the Department of Social Services have together as a clinical professional bullying group traumatized generations of the United States residences non-stop to the point where they can't even defend themselves from the injustices, because they think and they're taught that it's a not moving system of government, that the government as it is part. No, the government as it is and has been for 30 years is totally corrupt in the county level. The county level, a radical group of people move in and set up a radical group of government, and they set up this seat of this thing and that seat of this thing and this seat of that thing. Then, oh, we got to get an oversight seat, and we're going to have to procure more funds. And every day the residents have to have $1.60 on our desk every motherfucking day to pay our salaries so we can have prime health care, tenure, and all these insulated things to keep us having it all, while we're able to harass and badger the poorer people that are service industry bred because of the way that we farm these people. We pick and choose who we want to educate, and it is very evident. I'm a little out of it, Ryan. You don't know what it took for me to get this little bit of YouTube magic to be happening. Just a minute ago, it wouldn't. I'm going to document it. I'll go ahead and publish the edits, but they're not pretty. So I was about 5 years ago, 8 years ago, my son's 10. So 8 years ago, I was here with some time on my hands, and I was on maternity leave, and I got to thinking, and I was watching the government and watching the news, and I'm like, well, why don't they just insulate the United States residents from globalization by shifting all the appropriations from the rotation of government voting themselves, like they get elected, then they think their job's to get a pay raise and da 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 and da 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 da. And it's a cycle where they just keep taking from the homeowners, forcing the homeowners to pay. And this dynamic here in this community is everything rolled up into one. And there's three sectors. There's us, the rich retirement gated communities, and the clinical professional bullying system, which is taking over everything. That's why they got gates on their retirement homes, so they're insulated from any kind of patrols or incidences, and they're just insulated. I'm going to have some gates here on this little, I won't call it a little farm. I guess some bigger farms, but this is a little farm and with little bite hold left in the county where I was born. Watauga County, Appalachian State. Anyhow, the clinical professional bullies have been harassing everybody. All the Latinos have already took their kids out of the high school that can. I mean, they've only been here a short time and they're fed up with it. They know it's not a safe situation. They know it's not really beneficial to procure. I mean, it is if you want to be a scum sucking clinical professional bully, administrator, a clinical mental health worker, a clinical social worker, or any other kind of bully to make yourself relevant off the backs of the farmers. It's not right that they have clinical professional groups of government employees voting themselves and driving the narrative to where they're just procuring and breaking up all these farms and all this ability for us to live without these people messing with us. We can't get away from them. They done took my house out 20 years ago to build a 4-lane highway, and they didn't have to put it right there. They intentionally put it right there because they didn't like my dad's recycling junkyard. Said it was sightly. The dogs and the cats and the chickens and the goats and the children and all the junk cars and the junk stuff. Well, I had to go starving because the county put ordinances and forced my dad to erect this barrier to block their view. So they didn't have to see an eyesore. They put no parking signs up where we parked beside the road because our driveway wasn't always there. Until that driveway was built, that was the parking. They sawed the 200-year-old cherry tree halfway through because they knew they was going to build a 4-lane, or they just wanted to destroy any kind of significant landmark in the area. Nobody mentioned it, but they destroyed like 300-year-old cherry trees on the crest of the mountain. Nobody mentioned it, but when they built that land bridge over where I was raised, they created a louver system that really has the ability to move the jet stream. We used to fly kites on either side of the valley, and there's some power that they move. That is the ecosystem devastation, and they don't want to admit it. Now, church, I've said it over and over and over and over and over and over. And when I think I got a grasp on how to get this digital shit to record and shit, it frustrates me. It stops, it lags, it gets corrupted. It's not allowed to be published. So I want you with your awesome talent, your God given blessings, to help me edit this political shit so I can put it behind me and be sure the world sees what I wanted them to see originally, that we just need to change a few fundamental things in our current regulatory system to make it more palatable and secure the residents of the United States against these socialist clinical professional bullies voting themselves everything we own and our liberties and our children away from us and into their administrative authority. I want to live away from them, have every single day to dedicate to them and myself and my home without having to go fetch them a salary so they can tell other people what to do and gather more people under their employment to vote for them. You know what I'm getting at, man? It's a group of government employees taking away every freedom, liberty, back country avenue from Route 66. The Lightning McQueen story, you've seen it. You're a fucking general, son. I need your help. I'm going to cut that off. I'll probably try later when I calm down. I am very frustrated at this device and the people on the other end of it.